Welcome back, viewers. Imagine being diagnosed with a life-threatening disease. Well, that was the reality for our next guest, Kate. Kate suffers from a rare lung disease that only affects women. It's called LAM. Kate, welcome. Can you tell us what LAM is?
Hi guys, yes, LAM is a terminal illness, so it's a rare cystic lung disease. Only affects women. They don't really know why it's a sporadic lung disease, and it manifests a bit like cancer. So basically, the smooth muscles grow into the lining of the lung, which forms cysts, and eventually, unfortunately, that means that you don't survive because there's no airways for breathing. Hence why I'm on oxygen, because I have a severe form of it.
The LAM stands for what?
It stands for lymphangioliomyomatosis. So the first part is the clue. It's like it goes through the lymph system, which is, and I think it sort of stems from the ovaries, estrogen fueled.
Wow. And how old were you when you were diagnosed with Lyme?
I was 39, so my daughter literally was 2 months old, and my son was 20 months. And that's probably what exacerbated it. Because I was fine before that. I was running 5Ks, and suddenly was breathless. In between my two kids, the doctor just said I had anxiety. Said to go and see a psychologist for a year, so which is what I did, but it didn't really help. And I got pregnant with my daughter, and got worse and worse, really, to the point that I was just breathless all the time.
So, Kate, are you strapped to this oxygen machine all the time?
Yeah, I have to wear it 24/7. So, like sleeping, I've got a long 18-metre tube through my house from a big machine. This when I go out and about.
And not just the inconvenience of that, what is life like living with LAM?
Without being negative, it's been very difficult. I can't travel or fly, little things that people take for granted. You know, exercise, you know, I've gone from being very active to now sort of being minimal, going to the gym. Had to give up work because I just have one of the side effects of LAM is very bad fatigue, so I had to give up work, you know, just doing things with my children, day-to-day stuff is very difficult. You know, I can't sort of go swimming or jump in a pool or even going on holiday. I have to organise oxygen if it's in Perth, you know, have to organise oxygen to be delivered and things like that. So you're reliant on everybody else. You can't just spontaneously go away on holiday. And just for my kids, you know, like everybody always asks what's wrong with me, so they're constantly having to listen to, you know, what's wrong with your mummy type scenario, or people look at you very differently wearing oxygen. You know, they forget that you're actually a human being underneath.
Sure.
So.
And you were diagnosed at 39. What led you to get checked?
I just was breathless all the time. Like when I was going to the gym, you know, I just couldn't catch my breath. And, you know, as I said, because it was such a rare disease, like it's, you know, at the time it was 1 in a million chance of getting this.
Wow.
So now it's about 3 in a million, and lots of women do have this, but they're not as severe as me, so that people get misdiagnosed with asthma and things like that. So for me, like the reason I actually got diagnosed is because I hurt my back. So I had to call an ambulance, and then in the ambulance they were like, your oxygen levels are very low, why is that? And I was like, what does that mean to sort my back out? And then suddenly I'm having chest x-rays, put on oxygen, you know.
And your daughter was only 2 months old?
Yeah, so I was still trying to, you know, breastfeed her, and, you know, and then eventually, because it's so rare here, there's one doctor that knew what it was, but they had to check with over East, where they have another specialist over there. And then they sort of tell you that you've got a rare terminal illness, you've got like 1 to 8 years to live.
It's incredible. You know, I was reading about LAM, and it affects women predominantly in their childbearing age, which to me, having a baby is already so just traumatic in general. And then I can't imagine having essentially a newborn.
Yeah.
Getting that. So how do you cope to stay positive?
Look, I suppose you just get to the point where you think you have no choice. You've got children to worry about. You know, if you let yourself go into a, you know, downward spiral, then, you know, that's not good for your mental health. So I just try and think, well, I'm really lucky. I should have had a transplant 4 years ago. I've actually pushed myself mentally, even though I'm sick enough technically to have one. You know, I sort of push myself every day to try and maintain some sort of normality, surround myself by positive people. I mean, as bizarre as it sounds, I think I'm grateful that, you know, I know sort of where I'm at, whereas other people with cancer or something like that, you know, they are kind of going downhill and they don't have that opportunity. So even though my life's limited and I don't know what the future holds, you know, I kind of still, like day to day, you know, enjoy life as much as I can.
Sure.
So what are the treatment options for you, Kate?
The treatment options are very limited. They're doing lots of, the main trials come out of America. So one of the trials they did was a a drug called Rapamune or rapamycin, which actually is for kidney transplant recipients, but they found for some women, for some strange reason, it sort of blocked some of the motor neuron pathways, and actually it's kept me stable. It hasn't helped my condition, but for other people, it actually means that they have come off oxygen. Wow. But the only other treatment is transplant, which is a whole other pathway and journey, which is very scary. And people say, oh, have a transplant, but it's a very dangerous operation. Yeah. So that's the only two options.
Kate, will you ever be able to take your oxygen, be without oxygen, or is this
only if I have a transplant? Okay. And then you're on a time limit.
Is that something that you're going to do in the future, Kate?
Yeah, I definitely have to do that. I mean, really, I've pushed my luck as, an extra 4 years, so I'm grateful for that. But, like it is a dangerous operation. And basically, when they tell you that you may die on the operating table. So to try and mentally get your head around that, plus the fact that someone else has obviously gifted them their lungs for you to live your life is a pretty amazing and special thing.
And what's the life expectancy after a double lung transplant?
Look, that's one of the main reasons I haven't kind of gone on the list, and they say average is 3 to 4 years. Some people go longer, but when you see your specialist, they basically say you're replacing one set of problems for another set. And you go to like 25 medications to try and stop the lungs rejecting. There's always a chance that LAM could come back into those new cells, but hopefully for me that wouldn't happen.
Sure.
But that's the sort of other side of that.
Wow. Now, Kate, you run a support group.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about where people can find information?
Well, Australia has a website called lamaustralia.org.au, which is the main sort of central registrar. We try to keep, I should actually say there's only about 10 people in Perth that have LAM, so I'm kind of the advocate, and I will, if people want to contact me, my details are on the website, so I kind of guide people through where to go and what specialists that they might want to see. But for Australia, there's, as I said, the Australian support group, which is predominantly over east because there's so few people here. But even over the whole of Australia, there's probably only about 100, women, and that includes Tasmania and New Zealand.
Wow.
So it is very rare.
Sure, it is rare. Well, Kate, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your incredible story with us. And don't forget, if you guys need some information about it, you can find it all on our website. We'll be back after this break with the latest trending topics. Thanks, Kate. Thank you so much. That's beautiful for you to come on.
Thank you.
And so last minute as well.
I know, I was pretty sensitive.
We are trending. And you know what's trending right now? The Melbourne Cup.
That's right. It's about racing, events, but most of all fashion. And nothing screams fashion like Fascinators.
Okay, so we have, clearly, Laura, you've brought an array of beautiful fascinators.
I do.
Talk to me. What's your favorite?
So I love anything big and bold, and I'm quite partial to a bird.
Oh, a bit
some
of
feathers.
bird. Yeah, with some feathers. Okay, so do you need to match? Like, do you have to match like a maroonish with, that? Or can you kind of do something different? Like,
Look, fashion, you can do whatever you want with it. The great thing about these ones is they're all bright. If you go to one of your mainstream shops, they're all really neutral colours. And especially like Derby Day, you're going to be wearing white and black only. You want to spice it up with a nice, bright fascinator.
Which I love what you're wearing right
I love
now.
this one too.
I love the peach and the turquoise. And you have the accessory.
I know. So I would wear this with a simple black dress, and it just gives it that pop, you know?
And I also like that you kind of put the peach with it too, Laura.
Yeah. Well, I could have worn this one to stay safe, and this is gorgeous too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm big, I'm bold, I like real bright stuff.
The real bright stuff. Yeah, okay. Now, Laura, I have a quick question for you. Do you think, let's
oh, she's going to wear a crown.
Be real. What about crowns? Can I wear a crown? I mean,
it's fine.
Would I get kicked out?
No, not at all. It's just about accessorizing the head.
Okay, well, I could also do a crown.
That'll look good, or you can do you know what? You could do a fascinator and a crown. Let me say it.
I would do both, Laura. I would definitely do both. So tell me a little bit more about, like, there's different types of fascinators, right? So this one has a headband. Yep. And you can actually take it off.
Exactly.
Okay.
Clip it on.
And clip it clip it on if you wanted to do something different.
And do you know what? I've just thought of this. You could actually clip that on as like a brooch or something.
That's true.
Jazz up your outfit.
If you wanted to jazz up your outfit. You know, I'm loving all of this, Laura. So thank you so much to our good friends at
Enhance Fashion. So
Enhance Fashion.
they've lent us all of these wonderful fascinators, and yeah, I'll be sure to be picking up one from there for my Melbourne Cup experience.
Yeah, without a doubt. So that's a wrap. We've had another fantastic episode of Let's Talk Now. We so appreciate you.
And we will see you same time next week. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Let's Talk Now. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.